Well, hello everyone. My name is Brent Gove. I'll be hosting the EXP Realty webinar today. Excited to have you with us. We have a record turnout on today's webinar. So I'm going to be going over and explaining what all the benefits are and opportunities with EXP. Now, before I do that, I just want to take a moment and give you kind of a brief background on myself and what brought me to this wonderful company. And I promise to be brief, but been in real estate for 21 years now. Started when I was 30. A little quick math tells you I'm 51 years old. I currently run a large team in Sacramento, California. We'll do over $100 million this year, as we've been doing for the past few years. I've been, my first 12 years in real estate, I was at RE/MAX, had a great experience there, loved it. In 2009, Keller Williams came knocking on my door. I answered that call and went to Keller Williams, and I've been there for the past 8 years, had a great experience, wonderful time at Keller. I am generally happy where I am. And then I got a call back in October 8-9 months ago from a friend of mine out of Dallas, Texas, Sheila Fairgeron. I have a lot of respect for Sheila. She was about 20 million a year in sales and just a great lady. And she asked me if I had ever heard of EXP Realty. At the time I was at Keller Williams, had never heard the letters EXP. And I said, nope. And she said, Brent, this company's going to revolutionize the way real estate is done in North America. It is so exciting, so agent-centric, so many good benefits for the agent. I'm like, okay. And she said, would you watch a short webinar and give me your opinion on this new model? I said, of course. And I knew that I would not be interested. I always say I knew that I would. I mean, what could be better than Keller Williams? For me, I was in love with the company, and so, but I had a lot of respect for Sheila, and I thought I'd watch the webinar and at least give her my opinion. Well, obviously, my opinion was more than favorable, shall we say. So let's dive into it. What is EXP? What can it do for you? What makes it so different from every other big brokerage out there? So let's dive into it. Well, first of all, it's agent-owned, not franchise-owned. It's owned by the agents. A rising tide rises all ships, not the ships of a few franchise owners. So it's really different that way. Cloud brokerage, with another way to kind of explain that, is this little company called Netflix. They were a cloud company. They went to Blockbuster, which was not. They have all those locations, thousands they had in North America. They were a $6 billion company with a B, $6 billion. They were the dominant 800-pound gorilla in the marketplace. I mean, they were at the height of their strength when Netflix says, hey, you don't need any of that overhead. That's just all those commercial spaces, heat, cool, insure, and filled with inventory and employees and cash registers and computers and scanners and telephone equipment, just all the stuff you got to do. You don't need any of that. You just point and click and do it. We're cloud-based. And so Blockbuster made the biggest mistake of their $6 billion life, and they said, no, thank you. They kind of poo-pooed the tech. Well, you know what happened. Netflix was forced to go out and do what they told them they could do, and 5 short years later, they bankrupted a $6 billion company at the height of their success. They didn't pick off a fledgling billion-dollar company. This is David and Goliath. I mean, they took down Goliath, I mean, overnight. And we see this again and again. iTunes comes out, record stores go away. Amazon comes out, bookstores go away. Uber comes out, taxi cabs, even poor taxi cab drivers are dealing with it with the advent of technology with Uber and Lyft. I mean, everyone's talking about that. You may have just seen the big announcement. Macy's announced they are closing 250 iconic Macy's and JCPenney's nationwide, citing Amazon. The hotel industry isn't getting out of this. You might have heard of Airbnb. They have over 700,000 hotel rooms now, and they don't even own a hotel. And by the way, I love their name, Airbnb, cloud-based company. Travel agents, I mean, everybody went there to get their tickets, their rental cars, their hotels. It was fun. They're gone. There were every small town, city, large metropolitan city. There were tens of thousands. There's a few boutique firms left, but 99% of them are gone. I mean, you go to rentalcars.com to get a rental car, homes.com to get a, or hotel.com to get a hotel, Kayak, Expedia. It's all changing. Every time the cloud-based version comes of one of these companies on the left, those companies tend to hurt big time. And so here it is, the first major cloud-based company, EXP, coming to the way it's always been done. These companies on the left, I worked at Remax, loved it. Worked at Keller Williams, loved it. But think of them as Blockbuster, bookstores, travel agents, Macy's, just saturated with overhead. And so the cloud-based counterpart is putting them out of business. How? Well, four major disruptors. Because we're cloud-based, we're able actually to subsidize lead generation. EXP agents get listings from EXP, but they don't pay 40% or 50%. They don't pay anything, and we'll explain how that works. And they get buyers. So that's the most important thing to an agent is business. Number three, we're agent-owned, publicly traded over-the-counter stock, audited by the SEC every 90 days, open books. We'll talk about the 6 different ways to acquire stock in our company to make you a share holder in the company. And then finally, revenue sharing, unparalleled revenue sharing. This is what brought me to EXP. The top 3 I like, the 4th one's why I left the company I loved, revenue sharing. So we'll save the best for last. So let's dive into this. So EXP is a cloud-based company. We have a cloud campus, and just like any college campus, you can go all over that campus. There's different departments and buildings. You got human resources, the productivity center, agent services, which is like the concierge at the Marriott or the Hyatt. You go in there and they'll help you navigate the campus. Accounting, IT, the technology department, you name it, auditoriums, classrooms. This is an actual screenshot of a meeting taking place in the EXP Cloud. These are all real people from all over North America. Every seat's full at the table, few people standing in the back, point and click, you're in the room. This guy may be from New York, this guy may be from Miami, this gal may be from Dallas, Texas, or San Diego. Point and click, you're at the table. No airfare, no Uber, no hotels, no great costs, and very collaborative. It sounds like this. If you hear my voice, looks like that. Within 30 seconds, you forget you're in a virtual environment, and you can meet with people and discuss business planning or how to build a team, team building, or luxury marketing, or listing presentations, or SEO, or technology, whatever. It's all happening in the cloud every day. Basically, at the click of a mouse, you could do business anywhere, anytime on the internet. We have over 70 full-time EXP support staff in the cloud to help you. It's great. We just got a new upgrade to the EXP world. There's our new auditorium, bottom left. Upper right is the campus map to help you navigate campus. On the right is the agenda of classes being taught for the day. Now this is cool. When I was at Remax, we had 1 or 2 classes a month. I would go, not always, but I would go. It was very good, enjoyed it. I go to Keller Williams in 2009. They had 1 or 2 classes a day, not a month, a day. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm a very learning-based individual. I thrived in that environment. And I thought, who could ever outchange Keller? I mean, really 1 or 2 classes a day at your office? Well, if you click this little button right here, EXP has 5 to 10 classes a day. They've done it. And basically this board shows you what time, where, and what location on campus, what's being taught, and the topics are amazing, from mentoring to lead generation to by referral only to getting reviews on Google, Yelp, Zillow, Real Satisfied, SkySlope training. A few of my agents, and we're ex-Keller Williams agents, were kind of half snobby about training and education. I have 18 buyers agents. Well, I think 7 of them took this Millionaire Agent Mastery course. Said it was the best course they've ever taken in real estate. Just blew them right out of their seat. If you haven't had a chance, audit that class, even if you're not with EXP. Go into the cloud and take Millionaire Agent Mastery. You'll be blown away. We have over 25 to 35 hours a week of live, fully interactive training in the cloud. Topics are there on the right. Now, here's the best part. You're going to get leads. EXP has signed agreements with 2 of the most successful lead generation companies in North America. These are Ferrari-type websites to help you with lead gen. They're expensive, though. Most people never don't deal with them because they're basically reserved for the elite teams in America. In other words, conversion is the most inexpensive right here. It's $1,000 to set up, and you send a contract for $6,000 a year. Commissions Inc., that is $1,600 a month or over $19,000 a year just to have the website. I mean, it's a small mortgage payment. You don't own it either. You're just leasing it. Well, we provide the enterprise version, which is a custom version for EXP. Pay-per-click and ad placement are not included, neither are they in these prices. But basically, all EXP agents get this as a part of our EXP tech package of $50 a month, not $1,600 a month or $500 a month, just $50 a month, your choice of either one. So that's pretty cool. No startup fees. And the Inman News, which is the top news organization for real estate, did an article on conversion and talked about how it's a website with IDX built into it, CRM, which just stands for Contact Retention Management, that's your database, built into it, pay-per-click built into it. I love the tagline, cancel everything, conversion does it all. You get this amazing system for $50 a month. And then we just unveiled Commissions Inc. Very proud of that. Just came out. Very sophisticated system. My own agents were paying for this on the Brent Gove team, $1,600 a month. Now we get it for $50 a month. It's so cool. Now let's dive into this. Does it make a difference? Can we change an agent's life? We take Chris here. He was part-time for 6 years prior to joining EXP. His first year, he gets all these leads, closed 26 sales, not bad production, hires an assistant and a buyer's agent because he had so many XS leads, and then the next year does over 10 million. That'll net you $250,000. I'd say having leads can make a difference in your life. Now, stock acquisition. I was 20 years at Remax and Keller Williams with no stock awards. You could buy stock, not at Remax, not that I ever saw it. Keller, there were some places. Most of the good franchises were sold out. You could buy stock in some obscure locations, which I was not interested in. And so check it out. At EXP, on your first transaction of the year, you're awarded shares of EXPI stock. Every EXP agent is a shareholder. It's agent owned. Now, people will ask you, how do you like EXP? I've been seeing them everywhere. They ask you, what's that? I see you with EXP. And you can send them this link, and they can watch what you see here. And as they join EXP and they put you down as the reason, you get additional shares of EXP stock. Now, I did this. I was 12 years at Remax, not because I didn't like it, right? Many people joined over those 12 years. And I had 3 different Remax sales managers write me, thank you cards like they were taught by Brian Buffini and Joe Stump, and they included $10 gift cards from Starbucks. And I got 3 $10 Starbucks cards in 12 years. And that's great. I'm not making fun of that. It's just factually what happened. Well, at EXP, you're awarded stock. Currently, you're getting like over $600 worth of stock, worth of shares in EXP currently. So that's pretty cool, if 10 people come to EXP because of you, that's like $6,000 worth of stock. That beats the heck out of 3 $10 Starbucks cards. So I like this. I like that. Now there's a 3-year vesting. We borrowed that from Keller Williams. Thank you very much. I mean, real estate companies have a bit of a problem with retention. We're independent contractors. I mean, 1 month you could be with Remax, the next month you could be with Keller Williams, and the following month you could be with Coldwell Banker. I mean, you literally can change every week, every month, every day. We're independent contractors. Well, that's great, but all the stock you're being awarded, and my first 8 months I was awarded over $70,000 worth of stock in EXP versus 0 for the prior 20 years. Now I've got 70,000 reasons to stick around. Well, I might only get 10 or 15 or 20,000 or 5,000 worth of stock. Okay. Well, now you have 5,000 reasons to stick around because you can't cash it for 3 years. It's 3-year vesting. It's an ingenious retention program. Now you can buy it. It's publicly traded on monikers EXPI. Check it out. Watch it grow. It's fun. We have an agent stock purchase program, which is totally optional. I'm taking advantage of this. All my agents are. I really don't know anyone not taking advantage of this. Basically, you could set it up so you can use up to 5% of your commission to purchase stock at a 20% discount on the 30-day rolling average. So I've been doing that for the past 8 months. That's in addition to the $70,000 I was gifted. So I'm just loving this. Now we have an icon program, which is for attracting agents to EXP that are iconic. In other words, they're well known in their town, maybe their city, maybe even their state or the country. Here's how it works. Remax made the 100% very popular in the 70s and 80s. They're famous for that. Keller Williams came out with a capping system and said, look, we're going to cap you once we bring in, it seems to be 27,000 on average. Some Keller Williams are less, some are more. I just had one tell me it was 35, but the average seems to be about 27, and then you go to 100%. It's a cap. Once they receive 27,000 at Keller, then if that's the cap, they will move you to 100%. Well, at EXP, it's just 16. So it's a very competitive cap, and then you go to 100%. Once you're at 100%, it's just a flat fee of $250 per transaction. So when you do an additional 20 sales, that means you pay an additional 20 times 250 or 5,000. When you add it to the 16 you paid in for a cap, that's $21,000. But on sale number 20, they award you your cap back in the form of stock. You actually earn 16,000 in stock. So would you really pay to be at EXP? $5,000. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. Let's keep going. This is why I came to EXP, revenue sharing. And I'm going to compare revenue sharing to profit sharing. Now, the largest real estate company ever, the most successful one ever in North America with over 160,000 agents currently is Keller Williams. They did it by sharing profits with their agents 7 levels deep. We simply copied their system. EXP was founded by ex-Keller Williams superstars, and we share revenue 7 levels deep. For example, the first agent that joins EXP because of you, they take the $16,000 cap and they break it up into bite-sized rewards to share with their agents, revenue sharing. So if someone joins EXP and they cap, you get $2,800. Typically at $275 purchase price, it's going to take 8 to 10 sales to cap. So if you refer someone who sells at least 8 to 10 homes a year, they're going to cap, you will receive $2,800. That's pretty cool. Now, if you do it 10 times, how much would you get? $28,000. There's no limit. I've actually referred over 40. So in 8 months. Now watch this. Now, if you refer 5, though, not only do you get the 28, 5 unlocks level 2, 10 unlocks level 3. So if you refer 5 or 10, you get not only the 28, you get the 32 and the 2, all the way down to 7. If you refer 40 or more, you qualify for all 7 levels of revenue sharing. They're willing to pay out the entire cap if need be. Now, why do they do that? It's simple. 2 reasons. How can they stay in business, right? Easy. It's a mathematical impossibility for everyone to have referred 40 at the same time. There's always new people. It's just impossible. And number 2, averages. The average EXP agent is typically around 5 to maybe 10, but probably closer to 5, which means they're only getting paid the first 2, maybe the 3rd. But for sure, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on average, these monies stay with EXP. It's how they pay their expenses and make a profit. As they become profitable, it's good for the stock. Who owns the stock? You own the stock. I own the stock. It's agent owned, so it's good for us. Let me give you a kind of a simple example of how this works. Let's say year 1, you refer 6 people who cap. That means they sell 8 to 10 homes a year typically. You're going to get $2,800 a person, or $16,800 outside of your real estate commissions. Plus, if your cap was 27 and now it's only 16, there's another 11,000 you could add to that 16,800, which is closer to 27,000 a year. You've increased your income by your take home. Now, let's say year 2, you're busy with real estate, you don't do anything, but the 6 agents you referred, each referred just 1. You have a total of 12 people at EXP. Now, these 6 each are worth $3,200 a person. That's $19,200. Okay, remember level 2 is $3,200 a person. Level 3 is 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So these people are on your level 2. That's $19,200 plus your $16,800. That's $36,000 a year, or $3,000 a month. Did that just eliminate your mortgage, your rent payment? Yeah, and that's what 12 people in 2 years at EXP. A total of 12. Now here's the cool thing: it doesn't have to take 2 years. I referred 12 people. They watched this and they signed up the first 2 weeks. My 2nd month at EXP, I received $5,000 in revenue sharing. I've never made less. My 3rd month, I actually started receiving over $10,000 revenue sharing, and I've never made less. So I'll share more. I've only been with the company 8 months. It's not like I'm an expert, but let me give you a 3-year plan. I mean, if not this, what will change in your life in the next 3 years? If you don't look at this seriously, in 3 years, I know where to find you. You'll be at the company you are now, just selling your little tail off. I mean, I've been doing this for 21 years. I'm still selling my little tail off 21 years later. Yes, it's easier. More past clients call me to list their home. More past clients call me to help them buy a home. I get more referrals than I did 21 years ago. It does get easier, but I'm still working hard 21 years later. So will you. I know where to find you. Now watch this. Just play along here. Let's say the first year you refer, 3-year plan here, you refer 10 people to EXP who sell 8 to 10 homes a year. You get $2,800 per person. That's $28,000. If that's all you did, and you get it each year they're with the company. Every year they're with the company, EXP gives you $2,800 of the $16,000 in revenue sharing. It's residual in nature. So 10 years at $28,000, you have $280,000 in the bank if you saved it. Now the reason that's not going to happen is because these people will tell people. In this example, I'm going to say 10 agents who each tell 10 like you. Maybe year 2, they each average telling 5, and year 3, they each average telling 5. Then in 3 years, you'd have 10 who told 10. Or 100 on your second level. At $3,200 a person, there's $320,000 a year plus your 28. That's $348,000 a year. Plus you got all kinds of EXPI stock, but $348,000 a year. Some of you are going, well, Brent, is that realistic in a 3-year period? I mean, okay, what if it took 6 years? What if it took 10 years? I've been doing this 21 years. I don't have 348. I don't even have half of that coming in. So you think, but that's 110 agents in 3 years. Is that realistic? No. I've got over 428 in the last 8 months. I have 4 times this amount. So 3 years, I'll probably have 4,000. This is silly. These numbers are, because what you're looking at 110, just look at this number. Could you refer 10, and then they have family members and friends and people they know around the country that they've met at events who will sign up, and that's how it grows. I mean, that's how RE/MAX became RE/MAX, and Coldwell Banker and Keller Williams and Century 21 and Sotheby's. A friend of mine just opened a Sotheby's. People say, how do you like it? He says, I love it. Other people are checking out his office and joining Sotheby's. I always say, contrary to popular opinion, real estate agents really do have friends, and they say, hey, how do you like it at RE/MAX? I love it. You should check it out. People do. They join RE/MAX. That's how these things happen. The difference here is you're incentivized big time with the numbers. So watch this. Is there room for growth? Well, 2 years ago, there were only no EXP agents in Texas. Now there's over 1,000. By the way, interesting side note, Austin, Texas. Texas is kind of like the #1 state for Keller Williams. And this is like where they're dominant. And we had nobody 24 months ago. Now we have over 1,000 in their backyard. That's interesting. In Florida, there's over 300 agents for EXP. In California, over 400. Nationally, I believe this week we just broke over 4,000. 2 years ago, we had 400. You know what they said 2 years ago? It'll never work. It'll never work. We didn't double. We didn't triple. We didn't even quadruple. We grew 10 times. We just broke 4,000, yet it's still less than 0.1% of the overall agent count in North America. There's over 2 million agents and broker associates in North America. So we're still just getting started. Now here's our growth chart. I love this. Here's 2009 when we were founded by Glenn Sanford. He was kind of the right-hand man. He and a small group of people were in charge of technology mastermind group for Keller Williams International. He was kind of like Gary Keller's right-hand man. He goes out and founds EXP in 2009. He goes on 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and this was the growth, not bad. And then in 2016, he projected to be, this is 1,200 agents. They want to be at 1,400 agents. Well, the year's over. 2016's in the can. How'd it go? Well, they ended at 1,800 agents. They exceeded projections. They wanted to be at 1,400 by the end of the year. The first quarter of 2017, they had over 3,000, more than double their end of the year goal. The company doubled in a quarter. In a quarter. That would be like Keller Williams going from 160 to 320,000 agents in a quarter. I mean, this company is expanding at a rapid rate. 7 years ago, we were in 3 states. Today, we're in 43 states, DC plus Canada, Alaska, Hawaii. We're just opening British Columbia, Ontario. We're going into Mexico, hopefully next year, 2018. It'll be Australia and New Zealand next, and then the Asian markets, followed by South America and Europe. We're bringing a global, international real estate company to market. Here's the cool thing. You can't buy it. It's not a franchise. Your capital outlay, $99, and one time. I know at RE/MAX for 12 years, I paid like $370, and I paid it every year. So what for? They couldn't really tell you. But so there's no real capital risk here. Well, how about overhead? What kind of overhead are we looking at? A friend of mine bought a decent-sized franchise in the Bay Area. It was medium-sized, not small, not big. To lease the building, to put it in, was $48,000 a month, and it was a 7-year commitment at $48,000 a month. That was just for the shell, just for the building. So that is serious overhead. That's why Borders Books is no more. That's why record stores and Macy's and Blockbuster is no more. They have crazy overhead. Well, check this out. Our technology fee at EXP is $50 a month, and what do you get? You get either conversion or commissions inked. 2 world-class lead generation websites to choose from to help you with leads. It's a massive value for $50 a month. Then there's a one-time each year university educational fee of $420 taken out of your first transaction. It pays for over 25 to 35 classes a week for $420 a year. That's a bargain by anyone's standard. Now, here's the numbers. If you're a numbers guy or gal, here you go. You've been waiting for this. It's an 80-20 split until you cap. The cap is defined as $16,000 paid into EXP. And if you have a buyer's agent, 2 or 10, I had 18 of them, they get to come in under a half cap at $8,000. Once they pay an 8, they go to 100% with EXP. Now, they're still on a 50-50 with you, or a 60-40 or a 70-30, whatever split you have worked out. They're still on that with you. And by the way, when you cap at $16,000 paid in EXP, you're awarded additional shares of EXP iShares, another stock award. I've gotten every award I'm showing you on here. It's just normal. There's no royalty, by the way. We're not a franchise. I paid royalty for over 20 years to RE/MAX and Keller Williams. I am so excited not to pay royalty. And by the way, it's an 80-20 split for everybody. If you're brand new, you're on an 80-20. If you have a moderate amount of experience, you're on an 80-20. If you're a veteran, you're on an 80-20. Some of you are like, well, I have a 90-10 right now or 95-5. That's great, but you have revenue sharing, and you have stock, and you get leads, and you have massive training. You're giving up a lot for that extra 10 or 15%. Then once we cap, we go to 100%. That's better than a 90-10 or a 95-5. Per transactional fees, $25 broker review fee, pretty nominal amount. And then E&O is $40 per sale in California only. Every other state in the nation, it's $30. We're capped at $500 a year. It's great insurance, Lloyd's of London, I believe. And then once you're capped, you're at 100%. Then you just drop down to a flat fee of $250 for 20 sales. Upon sale number 20, you earn the $16,000 in stock. And then you drop down to a $75 flat fee after that. By the way the you get the stock is you get $12,000 immediately on sale number 20, and then EXP does 2 events a year: the shareholders meeting in April and the annual convention in October, which this year is coming up in Fort Lauderdale down by Key West. It's going to be great. If you show up to each one of those, you're awarded $2,000 in stock. So you get the $12,000 plus the 2 and 2. That's how you actually achieve the 16. Just want full disclosure on exactly how that works. There you go. Now, Ian here was an independent. Why should an independent agent merge with EXP? Here's why. It's still Ian Marshall and Associates. He didn't lose his brand. I'm still Brent Gove Real Estate. Okay, I didn't lose my brand, but now I'm powered by EXP. He was powered by EXP. His first 24 months, he grew to 100 agents from 17. He came with 17 as an independent broker, goes to 100. The following year, 190. Let's see, 5 years to 17, and in 3 years, he's got 190. Does it work? Oh, yeah. Carrie here came 6 years ago. EXP was in 3 states. The stock was 13 cents a share. She was a pioneer. She had to be visionary. First year, 29 agents joined her. The second year, 100. Today, she has over 1,000. There's our logo. There's our luxury division. There's our commercial division. We train our agents, our platform for education and training, expcloud.com. You might want to check that out. And then finally, we're going to conclude today with a 2-minute explanation of revenue share, and it'll blow you out of your seat. Up until this point, I was like, okay, yeah, it looks good, but I wasn't sold. This last 2 minutes just blew me out of my chair. So for the next 2 minutes, please put your phone down. Don't text, don't email. Give me your attention. I will just blow you right out of your chair. So we're going to conclude with join.exprealty.com. But before we do that, there's a little shameless plug for this year's annual convention, October 9th through the 11th in Fort Lauderdale at Marriott Resort Beach and Spa. This is one of the top 5 Marriotts in the world. The Marriott family keeps an entire floor here. It's going to be a blast. We got the entire hotel on lockdown. Put these dates, get your hotel room. If you got to fly and get your airfare, it's coming up quick. Don't miss this. I went last year by myself as a Keller Williams agent. This year I'm coming back with over 400 people. So it's just crazy exciting. I love it. I'm having a blast. So we're going to go to join.exprealty.com. You can come back here later. It's our company website. If you come here, there's all kinds of great information about the company. I really include you investor relations, just loaded with stuff. But I'm going to come over here to Calculator and click on Revenue Share Calculator. So what this is going to do is show you how revenue share does. Break it down. This is the part you got to watch. It just blew me away. So we're not a franchise. We're a national company. And according to NAR, the National Association of Realtors, the average agent sells 6 homes a year. I've been talking about agents who sell 8 to 10. We're going to bring it back to agents who just sell 6 homes a year. What would happen? And according to NAR, the average sales price coast to coast is $275. The average commission is 2.5, sadly enough. I know I get 3.5 on all my listings. Some of you get 3. You'll make more. Some of you are a higher sales price. I might get 475. So, and I sell way more than 6, and I'm sure a bunch of you too. Again, it'll just be better. I'm dialing this back. I'm being conservative. So let's say the first year, just play along with me here. How many agents could you personally introduce to EXP? Could you do 5? I'm going to give you a 5-year plan, kind of like a 401k for real estate and an exit strategy. Not that you have to exit real estate, but how would you like not to have to work as hard as you've been working for all these years? So could you introduce 5 this year, and could you do that each year for 5 years? If so, at the end of 5 years, you will have referred 25 people to EXP. And in my example, I'm going to say who average 6 sales a year at $275 at a 2.5 commission. And then how many people do you think those agents get introduced over the next 5 years? What if they did 1 a year for 5 years? That'd be 5 in a 5-year period. And then the agents stay till even less, 3 in a 5-year period. The agents stay till even less, 2 in a 5-year period. That's like 1 person every 2.5 years. I'm really kind of dialing this back. Because you told 25, 20 unlocks level 5. And 25 gets you to level 6. However, you do not get paid on level 7. You must refer 40. You only did 25, so you're not going to be paid on level 6. So what this calculator does is it shows you your annual income, not one-time income, but your annual income with EXP through revenue sharing once you complete the above picture. Now people are like, what was the above picture? You personally referred 25 agents to EXP. Now I did 12 in my first 2 weeks. This is not hard to do. But 25 people to EXP in the next 5 years who average 6 sales a year, and they tell some of their friends, you tell some of their friends, it kind of compounds and accumulates out. Okay, and I always ask people, what do you think it'll be? And they're like, well, I don't know, like 80,000 a year, 180,000 a year. I had one guy, he's kind of a math guy. He's, oh, no, it's going to compound. It's closer to 280, over $250,000. Well, here it is, and I promise you this is not broken. It's $2.1 million a year is your annual income 5 years from now with EXP revenue sharing once you complete the above picture, which is right here. What is this? Can you refer, if you want to make $2.1 million a year outside of sales, because now you're not just a salesperson. You're building a real estate company with EXP, with me, with the person who invited you here. So could you have 25 people? There's 2 million out there. Could you find 25 who average 6 sales a year, not a month, a year, at 275? Could you find those people? But then they tell some people who tell some people tell some people. I went and did 25 in 3.5 months. I already have people that have done 5, 10, 15, 20, 23, 24. We haven't even plugged in any of those kind of numbers here. Again, you did the lion's share of the work. Nobody did anything like this. And there's your income, 2.1 million a year. Now, I was showing this to a friend of mine. He's like, hey, could you change that to 15? I go, sure, why? He goes, well, I'm not as outgoing as you, but I think I could tell 3 people this year. And if I did that each year for 5 years, I could refer 15 years. I think this is more realistic for me. Like, okay, well, you lose level 6 because it takes 25 to get level 6 revenue sharing. You lose level 5 because you have to refer 20. Referring 15 will just get you paid on 3 levels. He goes, yeah, show me that. This is more me. I think I could do this in 5 years. I'm like, okay, well, before I do that, you need to know it is nowhere near 2.1 million. And now this is a friend of mine. He's like, I knew it was too good to be true. I knew it. I go, well, don't go crying in your beer because 655,000 a year is not bad. He's like, really? He's like, okay, I'm in. And he actually signed up and he's with me today. So if you'd like to make 655,000 a year 5 years from now, you just need to refer 15 agents to EXP who average 6 sales a year. Then each of those will start to tell us people who tell us, and it compounds and accumulates out. I'll end with this. I showed this to another friend up north of Farmtown. He goes, can you drop it to 10? I go, yeah, why? He owned an independent brokerage. He had 14 agents that worked for him. They said all my agents, they average probably 6. And this is actually, sadly, probably what my agents do, sleepy little farm town. Because I think 10 of them will sign it. He's a kind of a cowboy. He's like a big barrel-chested guy. He goes, I think 10 of them will sign up for that deal. He called it a deal. It's pretty funny. And he goes, and I could see them doing this. And he goes, what would this earn me? I go, well, you're going to lose level 4 because you had to tell 15. You're only going to get paid on 2 levels. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I could see that happening for sure. And he's a 35-year independent. He goes, what would that earn me? I got to be honest with you. I was nervous to hit the go button. I'm like, what, 30, 40,000 a year? I'd never done anything that low. Well, how's $250,000 a year? 251,000 a year. Talk about a 401k for real estate. Or you could just not try. Well, I'm just going to stay with my old company and sell my tail off. Really, that's why I left Keller Williams, because I knew in 5 years I'd be 56 years old. I'd be selling my tail off then just like I am now. I knew my future is predictable. So is yours. You'll be at Coldwell Banker in 5 years. You'll be at RE/MAX in 5 years. Maybe you'll be doing luxury homes, maybe this, maybe that. But you'll still be dealing with buyers who are upset because the home inspector missed the broken garbage disposal, or a seller who's upset because the buyer asked them to put a new roof on, and how dare them, and somehow you should have known. I mean, it doesn't change in 21 years. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to sell a ton of homes at Keller Williams or RE/MAX or wherever I am. I might as well do it at EXP. By the way, last month is my 8th month at EXP. I shattered all my all-time personal sales records. No one cared at all that I was with a company they had never heard of. When I went to Keller Williams in 2009, people like, KW, what's that? I go, Keller Williams. They're like, what's that? I'm like, well, there's this company in Texas. They're really cool. Nobody cared then. Nobody cares now. They do business with you. They don't hire Coldwell Banker. They hire you. And so, or if you were just convinced they hired Coldwell Banker, stay there. But what have you got to lose? I know Wayne Gretzky, the greatest hockey player of all time, he's kind of like the Michael Jordan of hockey. They're like, how do you score so many goals? He goes, well, simple. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take in life. He goes, I shot on goal more than anyone else. I scored more than anyone else. And I think through life we play it safe too long. We just play it safe. What's the harm in trying? Well, if it doesn't work, I guess I could go back to my old company. They would take you back with open arms, give you 100% for a year in a corner office just to prove that EXP didn't work. You would actually make money trying EXP. You can't go wrong. What's the other one? Wayne Gretzky said something else. You go, oh, come on, there's got to be more than that. He goes, well, actually there is. Most of the hockey players skate to where the puck is. I just skate to where it's going. He had an amazing presence on the ice, and he could just see where that puck was going. I mean, we see it when you go visit your little niece and nephew in soccer, and they're all playing bunch ball, and there's like 8 or 10 cute little kids all bunched up, and there's a bunch ball, and that ball's coming down the field, and it pops out in the general direction they're all going typically.